Thank you, Conor. Taoiseach, tomorrow sees the biggest national organised protest seen in this country for many years, as the fishermen and women of this country, from Maddenhead to Mizenhead, converge in Dublin, similar to the protest in Cork 2 weeks ago, in a show of solidarity of the scandalous way they have been treated for decades, but in particular the past 12 months, under your leadership. This will be the second of many protests, as fishermen have had enough of inaction, enough of spin and lies, as they take you and your government's leadership to task for huge inaction, which will see every fisherman lose anything between 5 and 20,000 euros in massive job losses in rural Ireland. I was told, Taoiseach, you were in West Cork on Saturday last in Union Hall in Castletownbere, and it is always important for a head of state to visit West Cork. But to be honest, those who told me Friday and Saturday were coming, they strongly felt it was way too late, other than listen to the nightmare crisis these fishermen face after a calamity of errors by this government. Taoiseach, when in West Cork on Saturday last, did you apologise to them for your continuous refusal to appoint a senior minister for the Marine, which was a redliner for me in negotiations for the formation of a government? No matter how I explained of the imminent crisis of Brexit and other major issues in relation to fishing, you point blankly refused to understand the importance of this senior minister's appointment to protect Irish waters, Irish fishermen and our richest resource. Taoiseach, did you take the opportunity to apologise for your signing into law of the unjust and shockingly unfair penalty points into place while in your short term as Minister for Agriculture and Marine in 2020? Taoiseach, did you apologise for the shocking handling of the Brexit negotiations in late 2020, where clear evidence shows your government's eye was off the ball, in spite of pleading with you to force involvement, and while your government failed, the French and other European countries had their terms and conditions fully met by negotiator Michel Barnier before they would agree to anything. Taoiseach, did you apologise to the fishermen for the huge cock-up with the weighing crisis hoisted upon our fishermen with the weighing of fish in our piers of our inshore and pelagic fishermen, where we since have found out both the Minister and the SAP knew in December 2020 but failed to consult with the industry until Friday, April the 16th at 5 p.m. that there was what the industry would call a crisis beyond belief. And if the Department of Marine and SAP could add any more insult to injury, the Irish fishing fleet now have an agreement to allow French and Belgian trawlers park in Irish piers and unload straight into lorries without weighing or any quota checks of any sort. This is a hard pill for honest Irish fishermen who park beside them and are inflicted by every Irish rule and regulation, Taoiseach, pounded on them by the Irish state. Taoiseach, did you apologise to the fishermen after the attempted ramming of a Castletownbere vessel off the Castletownbere coast by a Spanish trawler, illegally fishing in Irish waters, 3 times the size of the Castletownbere trawler? That Irish fishermen have no protection in their own waters, as no one could come to their aid and immediately arrest the Spanish trawler carrying out an act of piracy. Taoiseach, from what I've been told, the only explanation you gave on Saturday last, which has left many exasperated, is that there is an uneven and unfair burden on Irish fishermen, and you have made it clear to the Commission. Taoiseach, is this the best you had to offer, as everyone knew this already, or can you reveal today how these fishermen's income and livelihoods, which your government are helping to destroy, can be saved without the word decommissioning?
Thank you, Deputy Collins. Taoiseach.
Well, first of all, I have to say that I had a very good and constructive engagement with the fishers in West Cork over the weekend. Visited Castletownbere and I visited Union Hall. And we had a very matter-of-fact meeting to go through the issues in a very, what I would say, sensible way, listening to what the fishers had to say, but also identifying the issues. In terms of the Brexit issue, the country was faced with a no-deal Brexit or a Brexit trade and cooperation agreement. A no-deal Brexit would have been catastrophic for the Irish fishing industry, given how dependent our pelagic fleet is in terms of fish in British waters, and always was. It was always a problem even prior to Brexit, once Brexit was contemplated at all. That said, there was, in our view, an unfair burden on Ireland arising out of that agreement, and we're pursuing that with the Commission. And that leads to the key agenda item of the meeting, and also the meeting I had yesterday. I've initiated a social dialogue forum with the fishing industry, and I met with the producer organisations and fishing representatives from the different categories and sectors yesterday for over 2 hours to go through these issues. One being the Common Fisheries Policy Review next year, which will have to give us an opportunity to see if we can claw back some of the quota and share that we lost as a result of Brexit. And other issues in terms of the control plan. Now again, the Deputy has been somewhat disingenuous here because it's not the Department removed the derogation in respect of the weighing of fish in our factories. As you know, the Commission initiated proceedings and an investigation into the plan itself, and its implementing decision revoked the approval of the Irish control plan, which had been submitted in terms of the weighing of fishery products. So this is, we received that Commission implementing decision revoking the approval of the Irish control plan submitted for the weighing of fishery products. The Sea Fisheries Control Authority now have to respond to that. And this is a very serious issue for all of the fishers, and one of the reasons I was in Union Hall in Castletownbere was to witness at first hand the impact of this decision. But we have to engage with the Commission on that also, in terms of what the Commission is saying. The Commission is actually saying that, rightly or wrongly, their assertion is that there was overfishing of our quota, and they will want to claw some of that back. We're resisting that, and we will have to deploy all legal tools at our disposal to resist that. And that brings me back to a point I made yesterday to all of the groups. We have to reset our relationship with Europe in terms of fishing. The perceptions are miles apart in terms of the Commission's perception of how we are enforcing the common fisheries policy in Ireland and our own perception of same. And standing up and sort of attacking government in relation to all of these issues, I think, is missing the point. There are issues here that we have to engage with the European Commission on, and I intend to engage with it, and I also intend to work closely with the fishing industry to go through the items I've just referenced, and indeed other items that were raised also.
Deputy Collins.
Thank you, Taoiseach. And you mentioned about the weighing issue and that it's the business of the SFPA. The bottom line is that the SFPA and the Minister knew in December that there was a crisis there. They didn't consult with the industry, and now they're consulting with the industry when it's too late. But Taoiseach, listening to you today convinces me that you do not have a plan. It's kicked the can down the road in relation to fishing to next year. All the fishermen are being fed is spin and more spin going around in circles and leading them to a crisis protest tomorrow. Only last week, Minister McConalogue stated incorrectly to the Dáil the control plan is at public consultation. This is not correct, Taoiseach, as only whitefish and shellfish plans are at public consultation. Pelagic fish are excluded from the consultation and are not part of any proposals. He also stated that FPA would be submitting the control plan to the EU Commission. This is incorrect and misleading, as Article 43 of the Sea Fisheries and Maritime Act 2006 states it is the function of the Minister to submit the control plan to the EU Commission following on from a Cabinet decision on the same plan. No control plan can be submitted to the EU Commission by the SFPA. This kind of spin to our fishermen is why we are in the mess we're in today. Taoiseach, can I ask you again, and please this time, give us an honest answer. How do you propose to immediately address the incomes and the livelihoods of the thousands of Irish fishermen who face a massive drop in their income or face losing their jobs? And again, please do not insult the fishermen of Ireland by don't mention decommissioning.
Taoiseach, to conclude.
I don't intend to engage in any spin, Deputy. I will talk directly to the fishermen, the fishers generally, and to the fishing producer organisations. And that was the purpose of yesterday's meeting with all of the organisations across the country, was to have a no-holds-barred meeting. And it can't be ping-pong and just one side standing back attacking the other. That achieves nothing. And that's why the Seafood Sector Task Force was established by the Minister. And agreement was reached in terms of an initial application of funding from the Brexit Adjustment Reserve Fund, which will provide support to counter the adverse consequences of Brexit and to help fishers in the immediate time frame ahead. And the task force then will return to a broader application of funding from the Brexit Adjustment Reserve Fund to see how we can, in the medium term, support fishers and also the coastal communities that are supported by fishing. As you know, the government has provided substantial supports to Castletownbere, just to name a harbour close to your own heart. The Minister announced in May very substantial capital programme in that respect. And likewise, in terms of the Brexit Adjustment Reserve Fund, we want to support fishing communities. We want to support primarily the fishers themselves, who are under a lot of pressure, both from the Brexit situation and also the decision by the European Commission in respect of the control plan.
Thank you very much.